Good evening, great people. How are you, family? Welcome to another, welcome to another edition of the Houston Roundball Review presents Let's Talk Houston Rockets. I am KG Kris Gardner, owner and co-founder of the Houston Roundball Review. It's been around since 1994. Local name, global perspective. Haas Jacinto Martinez, how are you? Thank you for chiming in. I really don't have a lot to discuss. A lot of my play, a lot of topics to kick around. I got two that I'm going to toss out there for discussion, and then we'll just take it from there and go with the flow as I do, along with the family here participating in the live stream show. Working on a few things. Had one of my buddies who does more than cover the Rockets, had Texans news to take care of. So try to get him on in a future live stream show as we get closer and closer to training camp. So popping on that, that'll be a plan going forward. Just have friends, colleagues, just pop on the shows, live stream shows in the future. So hopefully that'll happen going forward. Not saying it'll be this month, but the closer we get to training camp, that's one of the goals for the Let's Talk Houston Rockets live stream show. Deborah Grant, how are you? Tony, how are you? Thank you for your comments on my interview with Rice head coach Scott Pera. Got a few more interviews lined up next week. Most of that will be college related because the Houston Roundball Review is more than just Houston Rockets on what I do. I cover basketball, men's and women's, college and pro. So about two topics basically for this show. And of course, I'll try to do my best to answer or comment on anything else you guys toss out there. Terry, welcome from New Zealand. Well, to you in New Zealand, me in H-Town. But first things first topic. What do you guys think would be a reasonable / fair contract offer for the Rockets to make to Kevin Porter Jr.? My young friend Kelly Eco with The Athletic wrote about it a few days ago this week. Tossed out some numbers. What do you think would be fair from the Rockets to offer Scoot? And then counter that, what do you think Scoot and his people would like to get from the Rockets? And let's see if we can meet in the middle. So Terry, Tony, Deverick, folks tuning in right now on the YouTube channel, toss some numbers out there and let's see if we can get a consensus on it. Terry's got 12 to 14 million per year from the Rockets. It's a little high. I'm more along with Danny said, about 10 to 13 million per year from Rockets perspective. Ulam says 4 years, 45. So I'm more along your offers, your range, 4 years, 45. That's 11 million per. I'm closer to that. Garage Guy says offer him 0 and give him a trade. Let me put that up there and see if we can get that conversation going right there. Garage Guy, give me your thoughts on why you feel that way. And I'm not backtracking what I said on last Saturday's show. I don't think the Rockets should make Scoot an offer this offseason. I feel they should wait until next offseason to make him an offer, but I'm just throwing out a topic of conversation for the show. So Rockets seem to be okay and at least contemplating signing Scoot to a deal this summer. So just give me some numbers. Like I said, we got two out there right now. Terry, 12 to 14 million per year, and Ulam is 4 years, 45 million. So, Derek, what you got there? You got 4 years, 4 and 5 years, 4 or 5 years, 13 million per. And right now, like I said, this is what you guys think the Rockets should offer to Scoot. And then a few minutes, we'll get into what you think Scoot and his people want in return. And I think we can safely assume that it's going to be more than what you guys are tossing out there right now. But so about 11 million per, range to 11 million per year, up to as high as 14 million per. Justin, my fault. Let me get right here. Justin, I think it should be high. You think it should be higher than Eric Gordon because I think Gordon makes 15 per. Garage Guy coming back with his opinion, KPJ is a turnover machine we don't need to see anymore. Swaggy says 11 million per is fair. I think he declines it. If it's, yeah, we'll get into that just a second. But Garage Guy, he's in the group that does not want Scoot on the Rockets. He wants Scoot somewhere else. Scoot turns it over. Okay, so all right. I agree, 10 to 13 per year if he waits, and that's a great year, then more. Okay, so we got one person doesn't want Scoot on the Rockets. Everybody else seems to be okay with Rockets contract salary range of roughly 10 to 13 million, maybe 10 to 14 on the range per year for Scoot, 4 to 5 years. Okay, that's from a Rockets perspective. What do y'all believe Scoot and his people are seeking and proposing the Rockets pay Scoot? Because it ain't, I'm pretty sure, 10 to 14 million per. So what do y'all think KPJ wants in a contract from the Rockets? And let's go from there. Any good point guards in next year's draft? Well, Jeffrey, thank you for joining the show. Well, what are your thoughts on the point guard the Rockets drafted this draft in Ty Washington? What do you think about him? So give me your thoughts on him. They're good guards in next year's draft, and point guards. Scoot Henderson is an explosive guard. And point guard, well, I'm going to say point guard wise, no. Because that's one reason some people believe Houston's Marcus Sasser could be a late first round pick. And I don't really believe Marcus is a point guard. He's probably going to get some more chances to be point guard leading the Cougs this coming season, but I would not call him a point guard yet. Jeffrey says Ty's cool, but he could be a liability on defense. Ooh, okay, Jeff. We agree to disagree on that one. We'll see. Justin says probably what Clint Capella had when he was a Rocket, 100 mil over 5 years, and this is what Scoot would, and his people probably would request. I don't say demand, request from the Rockets. I'm going to just put it out there. And this is correct. I agree with this point right here. His agent's duty is to get him a max deal. He ain't going to get that. He going to request a max deal. And they might do that. Rockets not going to give him a max deal. But that shame on them if they do that. You know, not my money, but shame on them for doing it if they do that. I don't believe they're going to do that. But Anthony Simons and his 4-year, $100 million from the Blazers. Garage Guy, do you think Scoot and his people would ask for that from the Rockets? $25 million per? 4 years, 100. Anthony Simons. Could that be a baseline that KPJ wants from the Rockets? If so, and I'm the Rockets, yeah, we'll just wait till next season, next summer, because we're not going to do that. So, good morning from London. Oh, awesome. Thank you very much. I did not want to disrespect you by trying to pronounce your name. So I thank you for tuning in from London. Is it Gold Cop? That's as far as I'm going to go. I don't want to insult you. So I don't want to go any further disrespecting your, if I pronounce it wrong, it's not on purpose. You know, heart, head. Just keep it like that. Scoot definitely thinks he's worth $20 million, but heck no. Yep. Jeffrey says he should get a Jalen Brunson contract or lower. Okay, well, that's roughly the same $25 million per year. I think Jalen's technically, 4 years, 104. So, Jorge, what's up, Sandoval? How are you? Justin, approve a deal this season. Just what he has. You know, the Rockets just wait for him to be restricted next summer and then test the market that way. And then we can discuss how many NBA teams do you think would make an offer to Scoot next year if he is a restricted free agent in the summer. I'm not sure there's going to be that many offers. So Al P's enough. Okay, Al P, that'll work. Thank you. Thank you very much. Al P, appreciate it. So yeah, I don't, and that's the fine line that KPJ and his folks have to decide. If they ask for such a high amount now, and the Rockets say no, we're not willing to go that high, we'll just make you a restricted free agent, and let the market, dictate next summer, he may not get $25 million, and he probably won't. I don't see a team offering him that much via free agency. But if Scoot plays a better team, is going to offer him a bag, and the Rockets won't match. Ooh, so who do you think would do that though? Jeffrey, I don't think Scoot is the Rockets' point guard of the future. No, I don't. So Swaggy, tell me, because the name like Detroit, I no, they're not going to do that. Teams with salary cap room next summer, top Spurs maybe, folks like that. No, Pacers, Orlando. No, I just don't see guys like that, team like that doing that, going that high for him. So, so that's like I said, that is the scenario they have to consider. If they ask for too much this summer and the Rockets say no, we'll see you again next summer and discuss contract. So it's a fine line there. So we'll see what they do. I go back to, like I said, from Rockets' perspective, if they're going to offer him a contract this summer, then I'd top out of like $13 million per. And then KPJ be like, no, I don't want that. And then we'll just do this again next summer and go from there. Justin is, whoa. Seeing pictures of Jayshawn Tate. Let me just go back here. Terry, first things first. I don't see any teams offering Scoot anything, to be honest. He plays a competitive position. Point there. Terry, Lakers could offer him a contract. Might not be what he wants. That's a scenario. Sandoval says Scoot won't even get $15 million a year unless he averages 18-8 this season on a good field goal percentage. That is, so in a sense, he could be betting on himself by not agreeing to what the Rockets offer him right now. So he has to take that into consideration, because if he doesn't average 18-8, then what team next summer, or how many teams are going to, will there be a bidding war for his services? I'm not too sure of that, especially if he does not put up 18-8. What if he's just 15-6 and shoots 42% from the floor and 30 from three? Not great numbers. So he's got to consider that as well. Now, Justin, with the comment by Jayshawn, he's seen pictures of Tate, his workouts to another level. He put on a good amount of muscle. Is he Tucker 2.0? I think many of us, his rookie year, kind of described him as a PJ 2.0, and then kind of, based on his play and performance, have gone away from that, because he does more than PJ. Offensively, passing a little bit. I mean, his game is a little bit more diverse than PJ's. I'm not trying to compare him to PJ now, because PJ now is defense in the corner three, and I think Jayshawn, 3-point wise, trying to get to that 3-point reliability from the corner. But offensively, he's more diverse than PJ's game. Jeffrey says he agrees. Scoot won't get many offers. A lot of teams have better point guard than him. Rockets got to hold off till next season. 18-8 and 50%. Yeah, Julian, I agree. Thank you for chiming in as well. Thank you for joining the show. If Scoot if Scoot averages 18-8 and shoots 50 from the floor, that's an all-star type numbers. Yeah. That'd be great for him. Great for the Rockets. I'd be surprised if he does that. I won't say pleasantly surprised, because I'm not from a fan perspective, but if he does that, that's a great season for him. Which leads me to this. If KPJ, Kevin Porter Jr., averages 18-8, puts up 18-8, and shoots 50% from the floor, then the Rockets will be most likely, because thinking positively, there's no injuries to Jalen Green, and KPJ is doing this within the system and not forcing them out of necessity. The Rockets probably be borderline playing. But Ninja of the Rift, thank you for chiming in. Well, you're consistent in that, and I probably agree with you a little bit that I'm not sure why the Rockets try to convert combo guards to point guards when it's not who they are. That just seems to be their philosophy at the position. Jeffrey, we'll see about this. We have to see how this is all going to fit. It's summertime. We've seen footage, clips of guys putting in work, teammates putting in work, but we got to see how everything's going to fit. Will they be cohesive? Will they play to each other's strengths and make each other better? I'm not saying it can't be done. I just need to see it. We got to see it. Will Scoot make Jalen better? Will Jalen make Scoot better? Will Jalen make Jabari better? Will LP make Jabari and Jalen better? All those things, because we have to see it. They're young and they have not played together first in preseason games, and then, of course, the regular season. So we have to see how that all meshes together, if it does. I think it will. But leading to my next question. What's his name? Zach Harper, I believe. Yep. Zach Harper with The Athletic. Also this week did, I guess, an off-season his power rankings, NBA. He's got the Rockets ranked 27th out of 30 in Tier 6, which is the last tier. Tier 6 is, Zach describes it as, we already know you're developing and tanking. 27th. What do you guys think about that? And just for more info, at 26, also in Tier 6, 26 is OKC. 28 is Orlando. 29 is Indiana. And last, and honestly least, is the Spurs. I think everybody thinks the Spurs will be the worst team in the NBA this season. So, but what are your thoughts on where Zach has Rockets 27th out of in power rankings as of August 2022? 27 out of 30 teams. And Justin, so Swaggy seems okay with that. Justin says Jabari needs teammates that will set him up until he can be more consistent on creating his own offense. Okay, Justin, do you think he has teammates that can do that? So answer that. We 27 and scoop ball hogs again and hinders the team's growth. Okay. Jeffrey, this offseason don't matter. We are rebuilding. Can't really make offseason moves. If we want to make moves, we got money next season, got a lot of money next season, next summer. 60 to 70 million in the salary cap. So, but Jeffrey, are you good with that ranking of 27? Let me pull up the comments too from Zach. Did the Rockets get better? Zach Harper talking. In terms of talent on the team, the Rockets are still probably in the same boat we saw last season. John Wall didn't play, so his leaving doesn't impact them in games. Christian Wood is better than the rookie version of Jabari Smith, but Wood wasn't exactly bringing the Rockets winning basketball. We all agree on that. Once again, Rafael Stone had a phenomenal draft. The Rockets have so much potential, but it will take a long time to mold that potential into winning basketball. Great rebuild since the James Harden trade. Steven Silas has a lot to utilize. Y'all agree with that? I want to break it down a little bit, bits and pieces. Some you agree with, think he's full of crap, or what? All right, Sandoval says he's probably 30th. Not worse than the Spurs. No, not worse than the Spurs. The Spurs are trying to be bad. Okay? The Spurs, no. Rockets have too much. Well, a healthy Rockets team should be better than the Spurs. Okay? If nothing else, they'll be better than the Spurs. Yes. All right. Jeffrey says 27th is cool. Media doesn't like the Rockets anyways. I won't go that far. I mean, national media overall, we could probably agree that the hate on Houston is real. I mean, I'm wearing my H-Town shirt right there. This Ninja of the Rift says 26 thinks they'll be better than OKC. He agrees with the statements from Zach Harper. Swaggy D, Spurs want Wemby. They do, but again, they can't. Just because they have the worst record does not mean they don't have the best chances of winning the lottery. So they're going to stink, but it's no guarantee they'll get the first pick. So Justin seems good with that. Those youngsters have a learning curve, so it sounds about right. 27, Tari Eason is going to get into foul trouble. I think early on he will because of his inexperience, his aggressiveness. Refs learning his style of play, how he plays, his physicality on defense. Yeah, I can go about that, Justin. And, well, we'll see about this, too. If the hype about Wemby, Victor Wembanyama, for those who were referring to it when we say Wemby, if it's legit, could be another great big man for the Spurs franchise. Time will tell. Could also, Victor could be injury prone and never be healthy, never have the impact that many expect him to have once he gets to the NBA. We shall see. But Rockets at 27, OKC, I think Rockets, OKC, probably flip a coin there. Pacers, I think the Pacers are starting over rebuilding. So I think the bottom two teams, there's probably going to be a gap, a gulf with the Pacers and the Spurs and everybody else. The teams may be in the same tier, but I think Orlando is further along in the rebuild than Indiana and the Spurs. Rockets and OKC are as well. They're further along than those two teams are in the rebuild. Detroit Pistons as well. I think Detroit is 25th. So it's not much, 25th for Detroit, OKC is 26, Rockets 27. So those three teams are pretty similar path of rebuild. Troy refers to it as reload. So, semantics. 27th is about right. The Rockets need offense and defensive identity. So, okay, we'll see. Ninja of the Rift has been a fan of LP for a while. All right. So we shall see. He's great. He's great here. I'll just, never mind regarding interview. But the Garage Guy 27 is about right. All right. I'm going to another question that popped into my head. I'll put this up here about Justin and KPJ. He's not real confident with KPJ feeding Jabari and setting him up for his shot. He's more confident in Jalen Green doing that. Interesting. Why do you think that, Justin? I mean, KPJ, he got better with passing. He didn't throw the ball in the seats as often as he did early in the year. He got better. He cut down on turnovers as the season progressed, especially in the last month of the season, last few weeks of the season, he got better. Garage Guy, Detroit is ahead of the Rockets in the rebuild because they had one more year of it. So keep that in mind too. And first pick, second pick. They did get the first pick in the draft. Kate Cunningham. Let's see. If he was a true damn point guard, our young core would straight up flourish. Let me put that up. Sandoval. You're consistent too, Sandoval. You're not a big fan of KPJ either. But as a true point guard, the Rockets don't want true point guards. I mean, look at how they draft. Look at their philosophy the last few years. They really don't. They want lead guards, versatile guards. Guards can do more than pass. They want guards who can score, pass, defend, all those kind of things. And this is true. KPJ does have a scoring mentality. That's how he grew up. He does look to score first and then pass. But that's really what the Rockets, that's how they acquired guards. That's what they want. Then we got It's right here. Wouldn't be surprised if the Rockets went for Scoot Henderson next year if the Rockets got the top pick in the draft. He likes KPJ as a 6-man role. Well, Noah Gordon, that works for me. I think it'd be a better fit there. We got Julian Bolden. Thank you, Julian, for chiming in. What comment from Garage God are you disagreeing with? What am I missing? Regarding Detroit in the being way ahead of the Rockets in rebuild? That comment? So let's see. Let's remember from David Stansberry. David, how are you? Thank you for joining the stream. Let's remember KPJ was a point guard when Green had his amazing finish. See, that's what I'm going on. Toward the end of the season, KPJ was a much better point guard, much better lead guard. So my issue with him is, can he do it for an entire season? That's what I want to see. See him be consistent, carry over his strong finishes last season in November, December, well, honestly, October as well. October, November, December, January, February, March, April. Do it again this year. The last few championship teams have true point guards on it. But yeah, I'm also of the opinion that true point guards, true point guards, Chris Paul is the last true point guard. You know, he really does, and then we get into more older guards who have that true point guard mentality. But teams need guards who can get them a great shot when they need it. When the opposition knows that you got to have a bucket, you got to have a great offensive set, teams need a guard who can do that. You can call that whatever you want to, a true point guard, lead guard, whatever. Teams need that. Boston proved that in the finals. Marcus Smart couldn't do it. Why, citizens, thank you very much for joining. You know, this comment from Terry, Steph is not a true point guard. Very true. Maurice, thank you. And comment also, Draymond is a playmaker. You need playmakers. That's what teams need. They need playmakers. So we can label it what you want to label it, whether it's a true point guard or, you know, lead guard or what have you. You need playmakers. You need guys who can pass the ball, get his teammates in the right sets, and then execute when it's crunch time. That's what you need. You know, that's what Boston went out and got Malcolm Brogdon. They think he can do that for them come the final minutes of ball games. So that's where I go on that. And I don't want to turn the stream into a Pistons Rockets deal, but let's go there for a few minutes. And yes, Steph is a playmaker. Draymond, and see, there's nothing wrong with having more than one playmaker. That's what makes offenses more effective. If you have versatile guys and more than one playmaker, if an offense breaks down, that's really what makes championship teams. They have more versatility in their offense. They have more ways to score. If a team takes one thing away, they can score another way, more effective. So, all right, let's go ahead and do this because I'm kind of curious as the rationale. I don't even think about it. You know, Pistons, Rockets, like I said, Detroit had a year's more start to the reload than the Rockets. Detroit's in year 3, the Rockets are in year 2, you know, basically of retooling. And Detroit's got 2 lottery picks in this year's draft. You know, pair that with Kate Cunningham, the number 1 pick in last year's draft. So if you base on that, you can go that way. Then you could say the Rockets have more younger talent than, you know, with Jalen Green, Josh Christopher, Al P. You know, you go that route. You can do that. You know, whatever. I'm just going to stick with it. I still believe 4 or 5 years in the finals matchup of Detroit versus Houston. I'm going to stick with that. And then we could work on who's doing what And we just see who did best in the rebuild and the retool if and when they meet up in the finals in 4 or 5 years. So, but yeah, for those who are saying that Rockets over the Pistons, I mean, both teams, I don't think either team's going to win 30 games this year. I think both teams will be thrilled if they sniff the play-in this year. I think Detroit may have a little bit better chance of being close to the play-in this year if everything goes right for them than the Rockets. But, I mean, I see Detroit maybe maxed out at 32 wins and Rockets at 29. I mean, not a huge difference there. So Houston could have had Paolo, which is a version of Cunningham in Detroit. So, I mean, it's what you like, in terms of, I think the teams Detroit and the Rockets are building a little bit differently, but the goal is still the same, to get to the finals. So we'll see. Troy Weaver, more trades and filling up cap space via trade than free agents. So we'll see what the Rockets do, or what Rafael Stone does next year with all that cap room in the summertime. If they have 60 million, 65 million, 70 million, will a legit impact free agent opt to sign with a young Rocket team? And most likely, those legit free agents are probably 28, 29, 30 and up, and are on the same timeline as the Rockets in terms of championship contention. So we'll see about all of that. Let's see. Justin, you put that out there, and I'm kind of curious how many Detroit fans. Your logic is true, but how many Detroit fans will agree with that? I think based on this coming season, we'll see if they agree with that, because I know there were a lot of fans in Detroit who wanted Coach Casey gone. So 2 years ago, but that's really before the correct rebuilding began. KPJ from Julian says 8.12 assists type of guy with the right coach. Okay, with the right coach. Well, so you're saying you don't believe Stephen Silas is the right coach. Okay. Blizzard Man, am I going to watch Eurobasket 2022? It depends. It depends. Honestly, I'm not sure. So depends on what other stuff is going on. Ninja Rift, watching prime Kevin Love when he was post move, shooting, passing. Yep, similar to Al P. We'll see. In a crazy world, if Al P could be as good of a shooter as Kevin Love, wow, that'd be something. That would be something right there. Sandoval, you do believe Stephen Silas is that guy to get the Rockets on the winning ways? How many Rocket fans agree with that? That Stephen Silas is the right guy for this team? Last year, earlier this summer, I think it'd be few Rocket fans believe Stephen Silas is the right coach for this team. I think he is a patient coach. I think he's a good teacher. I think he's going to be more of a hard ass this year, because he has higher expectations for most of the guys on this team who have been in the system for at least one season, if not two. So we shall see. But I think he's got a chance, and the team will be better this year. And so I agree. I don't believe. I mean, obviously, when he was hired as head coach, that team was completely different than this team. So give him a chance. They'll win more games this year, and I think they will improve this year. I'm not predicting a massive turnaround, like doubling the win total, anything like that. But they'll win more games than last year, and that'll be in the win-loss column the obvious sign of improvement, and then in the individual talent, and then defensively, you'll see areas of improvement like that as well. So I'm looking for that from this team. I want to see, Terry says, I'm going to comment on this, then go to Terry's comment. Swaggy wants to see Coach Silas get on players behind when they mess up. I'm not, he's not that kind of guy who'll do that in games. And, you may not see it in the huddle. In games, during timeouts, he's more of a coach who will tell a player, where they messed up. In practice, in films/video sessions, I think he's going to do that more. I think he will get on guys' behinds more, especially the guys who've been in the system for more than a season. He's going to do that this year because he expects more from them. He expects them to know better by now. So that's what I'm basing that on. And unfortunately, because media is not allowed to watch as much practice as we used to back in the good old days of the mid to late 90s and early 2000s, won't get a chance to see that much in practice of him being lighting up a player if they mess up. But he's going to do it. We just may not see it in a timeout or in a game. But he's going to do that. I believe that for sure. So just trust me on that, and we'll find out from sources if that happens. But yeah, he's improvement. And where was it? Let me go back to Terry's comment. All right, here we go. Terry's comment right here. You want to see what KPJ can do with a full season without Christian Wood. Could be there. Could be right. I'm kind of curious to see what some of the Rockets do without C. Wood too, because there were sometimes C. Wood was playing by himself. Looked like he just didn't want to pass the ball, didn't want to have it get his teammates involved. We saw some of those looks from teammates like, man, what are you doing? Pass the damn ball kind of stuff. Ulam, I'm going to go with that. Your question, how much do I think the Rockets defense will improve? Hell, it can't get much worse than it was last year. So it'll be an improvement from last year because they got guys who can play defense on this year's team. First things first. Rankings-wise, numbers-wise, I think they were one of the worst numbers-wise in the last, 20, 30, 40 years, some of the numbers. So dead last up to 20 to 24 is an improvement. I think that's a goal. And then if they can get into the low teens, or what's that, high teens, like 18, 19, around there. So maybe great defensive improvement, 18 to 24, that range will be improvement. Going to topic here. I'll see you, Justin. I'll comment on your topic in just a second. So, yep. I hope I answered your question right there. Alp, Jalen Green and KPJ combination will help. They will score lots of points. They will. I hope they stop some folks too. Make guys work on both ends of the floor, offensively and defensively. Sandoval, Jabari is the Rockets' defensive anchor. And now more shot opportunities will be available with Seawood gone for the other players. Yep, I agree with that. Looking forward to seeing it. So, Maurice Williams, you are correct with Stephen Silas has worked with Steph. He worked with Baron Davis, worked with young LeBron. These guys, they're rookie, second year in the league. And most of those guys, if not all of them, give credit. Luka gives Stephen Silas credit for their development and their work habits to help them become the players they later on became in their NBA career. So hopefully Coach Silas will have that same impact on the Rockets youngsters. All right, Justin, your question, put it up, your topic. Off topic for a moment, saying UH basketball is going to have one of the most lethal backcourts in college basketball. Yes. In fact, one publication, was it Field of 68? Was it? Yeah, Field of 68 ranked Marcus Sasser and Jamal Shead as the top backcourt in college basketball this coming season. So, yes, had the top backcourt and then the 23rd ranked front court, I think, something like that. So that's, yes, Jamal Shead, Marcus Sasser. Some national pundits, colleagues have said Marcus Sasser is the best lead guard. Like I said, they refer to him as a point guard. I'm not sure Marcus is that yet. Best point guard returning in college basketball. So, yeah, high praise being tossed at the Houston Cougars backcourt, and head coach Kelvin Sampson could not care less. Could not care less, because it's August and he is not allowing that outside noise to seep into his players, to impact their mindset, mentality in summer practice, which ended yesterday. Yesterday, Friday, was the last day for Coug summer sessions. So they'll take a break and be back at it in September. Right? Yeah, September practice. All right, let's see. Hunter, that's a new name I haven't seen. Welcome. Thank you for joining the show. Thank you for your comment. He doubts any young point guard in the league could have done much better than KPJ, given the same team of borderline G League players and intentionally tanking. Thoughts on that? Fans, comments on that? Tony says, I think some of the new guys will push their teammates. Competition, I agree with that. I'm going to put that up there, yes. Competition practice should make the Rockets better. Yes, definitely. So I'm going to go, I agree with that sentiment. Gary says he thinks Silas was brought in to teach new players, and rebuild began as far back as trading Capella. He's teaching the new players. Now it's getting time to start winning some games. So the talent has improved. This coming season, this team has more talent than last year's team. They're still not experienced. They're still learning about life in the NBA, which Tari Eason, Jabari Smith, and Ty will learn this season. I don't believe there are any problem players on this team yet. And I say that because some folks might say KPJ could be, if some of his bad habits and emotions get the best of him. But, Chris Wood is in Dallas, and I think he was a major issue with some chemistry problems last year. So, all right, let me see. Who do we got? I think there were some young point guards that could manage offense better, but it was hard. Terry wants to know my thoughts on playing Eric Gordon and Garrett Matthews off the bench together for spacing, as KJ as well. In terms of rotation, and we're going 8-man rotation, I'm not sure Garrett Matthews or KJ will be part of the 8-man rotation. If we include Eric Gordon, Josh Christopher, and Usman Garuba as the first 3 off the bench to go along with KPJ, Jalen, Jayshawn, Al-P, and Jabari, that's 8. And I did not name KJ Martin or Garrett Matthews or Daisha Nix or Ty Washington. So, I mean, Rockets got a deep team. But except for Eric Gordon, that core 8 is very young and inexperienced. So we'll see about that. KRTs. I forgot about Coach Lionel Hollins. He's going to impact the defense in a positive way. I expect the Rockets. I look for the Rockets to be much more physical on defense. They don't have. I mean, they got some guys who I think could be grit and grind guys. Solo Dilo, what's up? How are you? Welcome, man. Tari Eason. Well, could you imagine Tari Eason becoming like a Tony Allen type for the Rockets? And then Jabari Smith, defensive guy. Jabari, Tari Eason. That's two guys who are going to get after you on defense. So that's a great foundation right there. KPJ got better defensively. He's got to be consistent in defense and take on the challenge of making every opponent work, not just elite players. So, Solo D'Lo, man, hey, no worries about coming in late. Not a problem. Glad you could make it. Here's one stat we've got here. In lineups that feature KPJ and LP, we have the best plus minus. I don't doubt that, Ninja. I just don't see. Tell me, where is KJ? Who is KJ going to beat out of that 8-man rotation? Oos, maybe. I mean, hell, if Oos can't stay healthy, then for sure. But is that a good thing you want? You know, I mean, I guess that's his best chance at that. Black Light, thank you for your comment. Jayshawn Tate, good defender. So Jayshawn, I think at some point in the season, definitely later on in their careers, heck, even next season, Jayshawn, Tari, Jabari up front. That's gonna give some teams on defense. That's gonna cause folks some problems. It's gonna be some frustration because those three guys, as a unit, as a core, defensively, should be very, very solid up front. Yes. Solo, your comment. Let me put this up. It is so. Can the season start already? It is so strange because COVID disrupted the NBA calendar. It has been a while since the NBA had a long off season. So this is weird. This is August, and NBA training camp is still 5-6 weeks away. So think about that. 5-6 weeks away. This lull in the NBA summer is why has allowed me to get back into interviewing college coaches and interviewing more folks in the college scene for the next few days, weeks. So it's interesting. It's different. Someone said Jabari could be a young Robert Horry type player. Nothing wrong with that because Robert Horry's defense, especially when he was with the Rockets, was legit. Better team switching defenses was Tate, East, and Jabari, Garuba. If Oos can stay healthy, yeah, it's on him. So to stay healthy, and I hope he does, because let me be clear, he has not gotten injured on purpose. He just right now has not been able to stay healthy. All right. And yes, I don't want Jabari to be a 5 too often. His rookie year, he might, as he gets stronger, puts on more weight, he might become that second, third year in the NBA, but I don't want to see that too much this year because to me, that seems like Oos, other bigs aren't coming through if Jabari has to play the 5 this year. And that would not be good for the Rockets overall if Usman Garuba is not reliable enough to be a 5, backup 5, and whoever else, because I don't expect Boban to play a lot, and I'm not expecting Marquise Chris to hell even be here. But if he makes a team, after his surgery, no, that's not a good thing either. Bruno Fando, Exhibit 10 contract, got to work his way into being a 2-way contract, and then if he does that, work his way into getting a standard contract. So that's a lot. That's a lot of steps for him. So Eric Holman, a lot, for him. So that's a lot. So we'll see. Corbina, thank you for the chat and the show. Thank you very much. Don't be a stranger. I've seen your name before. So yeah, thank you for coming back. Thank you for your comments as well. And we'll do it again in the future. Like I said, it's more difficult, challenging to discuss Rockets in my mind, my plan for today was just 30 minutes. And we're at 50 right now. So it's because you guys, Rocket fans, well, you guys are knowledgeable Rocket fans, knowledgeable, bringing good questions, good comments, and respectful of everybody. Because this is a family. This is Let's Talk Houston Rockets family. We're a family. You know, I have not had to block anybody on here, but I can and I will if you get out of line and disrespect people, because I'm not here for that. I'm too old for it. I don't have time for it, but I have need to do that here. And I appreciate everybody for being respectful of comments of people that we don't agree with, because that happens. It's going to happen here. Y'all don't agree with everything I say, and I don't agree with everything some of y'all say. That's part of what we're doing here. So, Blacklight, thank you very much. Where'd the garage guy go? The one guy who wanted KPJ traded because of the turnovers. I doubt that. Like I said, I'm just going to stick with it. I still think the Rockets should not sign Scoot to a contract this summer. Sounds like they will, because I think it makes sense for Scoot if they agree on numbers. Because if he has too much money, he's not going to get it next summer. I just don't see that at all. Yeah, Brandon. Where's Brandon in the 33 wins? He has not chimed in tonight, but he's going to be consistent in 33 wins. He's going to say it again. Would I like Jabari at the 5 if he could handle? Not yet. Solo, that's not this season. I think he's going to evolve into that. But down the line, yes. For sure. Yes, but not extensively. Not 25 minutes a game, but 10, 15, yeah. WK, new comment here. New commenter. Thank you for joining the show. Thank you for your comment. Don't be a stranger. Don't be shy. Come back again. This is legit. Given how successful the Rockets' most recent drafts have been, wouldn't it be natural for one pick like Oos not to work out? Yes. Agreed. And I think, that happens. No team will bat 1,000 in the draft. No team. I think we'd have to probably look at studies and research papers and things like that about how many teams have a success rate, especially lottery lotteries 1 through 14. So let's go lottery to 20s. Lottery to 1 through 20. How many teams hit on picks 1 through 20 that they get with at least a 50% success rate? Probably not going to be that high. But Rafael Stone has done that the last two drafts. LP, you 33 wins. You and Brandon need to form a club, because I don't see that, especially in the Western Conference, because it's going to be better. The West will be better if everybody's healthy in the West. Will be better, and that's another reason why I don't believe the Rockets will get that high a win total, despite being better than last season. Brandon said 33 last year, so he's consistent in that. He had 33 last summer. He was the first one of the first commenters on the early shows of Let's Talk Houston Rockets. He said 33 last summer. He was at 33. So I was at 21 last year. He was at 33. So he has not changed. He's like, one of these years he's going to be right. So, okay. Ninja of the Riff, would I like LP at the 4? I think that's going to happen, because if Jabari's at the 5, I think it's best for the team if LP is at the 4 a little bit. And then we'll see, because I'm not sure Oos and LP on the floor together for 10 minutes would work. So we'll see about that. Usman came to the NBA as a great defensive player. He was considered one of the best defenders not in the NBA in last year's draft. Got to get healthy. Got to stay healthy. I think Gary says he thinks KPJ should be signed now with incentive. Well, Gary, right now, the Rockets don't have to sign him to. They could let him be restricted next summer. They don't have to do anything right now. KPJ could take the money and get more years. But, that's on him. So KRT's 33 wins is ambitious. He's going to stay at 28. So who's got a younger brother on the Spanish U18 team? Okay. All right, RB, welcome to the show. We talked about this in the first 10, 15 minutes of the show. And the salary range that I tossed out and other commenters said the Rockets we think the Rockets should offer KPJ 10 mil to 14 million per, within that range. What do you think? 10 to 14 million per. 4 or 5 years, 4 years, 10 to 14 million. So 4 years, 45 million as an example. What do you think about that, RB? Give me a comment, reply on that. What do you think? That was the consensus. No one believes KPJ is a max player. His folks may ask for that. If they offer that, Rock should say no. See you next summer. So another person saw Jayshawn Tate and his new muscles. Okay. All right. Garage Guy does not see Gruber on the roster once the Rockets start signing real free agents. That could be. Defensively, he's got to show it. He has to show that. So it's on him. Blacklight says KPJ not worth more than 12 a year. Brandon F says 15 mil a year. Euroball's fun to watch. He loves molten basketballs, but the NBA is more athletic, so LP has to get more athletic. Okay, so you like the range of 4 years, 45 million. I don't think more than 13 million per. But I don't think the Rockets should offer him anything this summer. Sign him to anything. Just wait till next summer. That's my take on that. I want to see him have another great year. Answer this question, Ninja. When are the Euro 22 games? Answer that question, because I'm not sure. So I don't know that. So toss it out there. When are they? Let me see. There's the question. How much cap space Rockets could have? I've seen, I think, a range of $60 to $70 million next summer. So I haven't seen it lately. One, I think I saw in May or June, was 80 million. As high as 80, but basically the range is 60 to $70 million of cap space next summer. All right. Oh no, I'm curious because I don't know. When are the Euro 22 games? So if anybody knows, whoever it is, LP, if you know, early September. Thank you very much. So we can tune in for that. Appreciate. See, we have knowledgeable folks on this show. Thank you very much. Thank you for that. Appreciate that. Because if I don't know, I'm going to ask. I'm not ashamed to say I do not know everything. I stopped thinking that foolishness long time ago. So, hey, that's why I'm going to try to get a few of my colleagues on the show as well in the future. We're trying to work that out. Some of them maybe earlier start times to get them on the show than 9:30, but we shall see how that all plays out. So working on it, got to work around some of their schedules as well. So that's what we're going to do there. Thoughts what would happen with Mr. Bridges? To shake my head at that one. I just send the court's hands there. And let me see. The city jersey themes will be this year. I'm not sure. I haven't heard about that. All right. I know 99% of you guys are Rocket fans. Y'all know I am a Detroit Pistons fan going back 35 years, 36 years. What do any of y'all like the teal jerseys, teal Piston jerseys? If you do, please tell me why, because I don't. I didn't like them when it first came out. I do not like them that they're coming back. So is there anybody on here who likes the Detroit Pistons teal jerseys? Ugh, I just don't. No, I just don't. And they're sellers too. I just don't like them. I don't know. Maybe it's the flames on it or whatever. It just doesn't look good to me. I just Montrez messed up too. Yep. Forgot about him. WK, thank you. No. And see, that's the thing, James. Piston fans, the majority of ones I know, we don't like it. I just don't. I know my man, James Edwards, he thinks they're fire. He loves them. And I'm just like, James, man, we got to talk. I just don't. I just don't. Maybe because I'm too old. I don't know. Maybe I'm an old generation guy. Well, I didn't like it when it first came out. So I was younger then. Yeah, I just don't. So, but yeah, I digress on that. I just had to toss it out there for conversation. But the Rockets, ketchup and mustard, like them. I don't like the Rockets. The pinstripe look, hated that look. Oh, hated it. God, hated it. The only thing about, I'll give you this, that they remind you of Grant Hill. Yep. Grant Hill probably the only good thing about those jerseys. Well, Stackhouse too. I got used to them, but I just didn't like how they looked. A friend of mine asked me what I wanted for my birthday. He thought about buying me a teal jersey. I said no. No, give me the original. Don't give me the teal. No, no. Rockets pinstripe, very true. Just not a good look. I'm not. No. Pinstripe Rockets uniform is not good at all. The ketchup and mustard Rockets is where it's at. Classic. Kelder, what's up? Thank you very much for chiming in. Kelder, I'm going to catch you up real quick before we shut it down. Get your thoughts on this. What do you think the Rockets should offer KPJ contract salary-wise this summer? If you think the Rockets should give him a contract this summer. And then, once you answer that, what do you think KPJ and his reps want in return for the Rockets? Because the two aren't the same. So, big country. Whoa, there we go. Brian Reeves. Boy, he was a hell of a college player. Those Grizzly jerseys. Yeah. And Chuck used to look so fat in them. Yeah, he was. Yep. Yeah. But yeah, here we go talking about jerseys and fits and stuff like that. That jersey patch, I'm not a fan of it. Who's a sponsor? I'm not even mention the name because they're not a sponsor of the show. So why should I plug them? I know it is, but yeah. The original jersey. Thank you, Deverett. Thank you. Yep, those jerseys. That's what I like. But yeah, Kelvin, if you're still there, man, before we wrap it up, what are your thoughts on a salary offer Rockets should give to KPJ? Because the consensus range is roughly $10 million on the low end to $14 million. One person, I think, said up to $15 million. But then we had pretty much folks who were like good with $11 to $12 million per for KPJ. And then I think KPJ and his folks may be looking for like $25 million, at least 20 plus per. No, hell no. Another new name. Thank you very much for tuning in. Was it Delio? KPJ getting a 5 year, 77 to 82. So that's 15 to 17 million. That's on the high end that I think the Rockets should offer now. Next summer, if you had a great year, okay, even then, I don't think it should be more than 18 million next summer. So that's on the high end after a great season. But we'll see. Solo D'Lo, the black and red jerseys Rockets wore in 2021. Yeah, some of y'all was talking about those pinstripes made Chuck look fat. Chuck was fat. Okay, they just accentuated Chuck in those LBs. Let's be real about that. Okay, Keldon says he believes in KPJ and his upside. He also thinks all depends on him becoming a better free throw shooter as long as he continues to struggle at the line. Okay, that's interesting. All right, I'm going to do what Terry is doing as well. I'm going to wrap it up. Went on 66 minutes. I thought it was going to be 30 today, But once again, you guys came through with the great comments, great questions. So we're going to try to do it. I'm thinking most likely we'll do another one next Saturday. Summer's, August is slow for NBA stuff. Some of my colleagues who cover the Rockets are now in Texan mode for a little bit. So that's where we are. And even college football. Got other colleagues doing that. TSU and UH started practice this week for football. So that's where we are. The college basketball teams practice ended and football started. So that's where we are. This is the dog days of summer for basketball, NBA-wise. So it's now football for a little bit. But we're going to try to make it do what it do on another edition of Let's Talk Houston Rockets next Saturday. And if you have not become a subscriber to the channel, please do so. Hit the like button on this video once you watch the rebroadcast. Tell your friends about it. Like the videos. Click on that bell so you can receive notifications, so you can receive the updates in the community tab section. I posted a few things this week. Mostly it was college related. The Cougs non-conference schedule, men's basketball, and TSU's non-conference schedule was announced this week. So that's there. Rocket stuff will be there as well in the future. But as always, thank you very much for chiming in. A lot of fun talking with the family. Appreciate it. Until next Saturday, most likely next Saturday, you guys take care. Be good to each other. Peace.